What's up guys, Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase to you guys a very powerful PvP build that I've been testing over the last few days. This build gives you huge crit damage and very high RPM. It's a lot of fun to use and extremely powerful in PvP. You can absolutely melt agents. You can use this in PvE, it's up to you. And I will give you guys some ideas if you wanted to change this build up to use with another kind of weapon, because I will be showcasing this with an SMG. It does make sense using an SMG, but like I've said before, Hunter's Fury is arguably better for close range, especially in PvE, but the burst damage that this gives us has surprised me a lot. That's why I decided to drop this build, because it just performed so incredibly well. So please guys, make sure you hit that like button. So many of you that watch, over 80% of you guys that watch, are not subscribed. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell. Let's get straight into the video. You guys can enjoy some gameplay and then we'll go through the build in full detail.
Explosive seeker mine detected. Hostile explosive seeker mine detected. Rogue defender drone detected. Hostile contaminated gear detected. Now detecting contaminated gear. Serious trauma detected. Detected. Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
Ooh, dude, that was a fast view. Good.
Initiating rogue protocol. Rogue Mender Seeker Mine detected. Hostile Mender Seeker Mine detected. Nearby agent has gone rogue. Doctor drop has expired. Rogue explosive seeker mine detected. Agent neutralized. Rogue agent eliminated. Now detecting contaminated gear. Detected. Hostile defender drone detected. Rogue explosive seeker mine. Helo is returning to base. Immediate medical assistance needed. Eliminated.
Hopefully you guys did enjoy the gameplay. Let's take a look at the setup. So we are going to be using firewall specialization just because of that very strong armor kit. It's up to you what specialization you use. I've got 1.5 million armor. It's only 1.4 because I don't have fully maxed out blues. It's up to you how much armor you have. And I think depending on how much armor you have, that will determine what weapon you choose. So you can use ARs, LMGs, SMGs. It's up to you. Just swap to the corresponding backpack talent. For example, so like for Sokolov, SMG, Fenris, assault rifles. I think that's a good rule of thumb. You can also use the Matador if you would like to just have general weapon damage increase, only 5%, but it'll be less damage, but possibly more survivability due to the 2% extra bonus armor per enemy you go up against. So that's up to you. It is situational, but you can go for that as well if you've got a good Matador backpack. So if you're going to have 1.5 million armor and less, so upwards up to 1.5 million armor, I would recommend the Vector SBR with measured. So the reason why is because we have got high amounts of RPM with the Vector, and burst damage is very important. The higher red builds or the lower blue builds will be able to beam the players out a lot quicker. Now the apartment has got the perfectly measured. This, you can only really utilize the perfect version throughout the whole magazine. So it will do damage if you can expel the whole magazine. So if you're going to go for more than 1.5 million armor, I would use the apartment. It's up to you. In the gameplay, I'm sure you would have noticed I do use most of the magazines, so I could have benefited from the apartment. It doesn't really matter, just something to keep in mind from my testing. So if you have anything of like 1.5 million armor and below, definitely use the Vector because you'll be able to beam them out faster. You'll probably kill a player before you reach 3/4 of your magazine. But if you're going to go anything above 1.5 million armor, use the apartment. There are other guns you can use, but I do recommend the Vector. It's very good. We get nice, way higher RPM with this. It's just very satisfying to use. Now, it's by no means the best talent to use with the setup. The Lady Death, I eventually started testing the Lady Death with the setup. It's dirty. It's absolutely crazy how much damage you can do. So if you want to just go for full meta, I would say the Lady Death is arguably the best SMG to use. It is really good. The CMMG Banshee with Optimist is also nice, but try the Lady Death. It's actually ridiculous how much damage you can do with the stacked up Lady Death talent and also the extra RPM from the gear set, which is crazy. And the fact is we also get movement speed, which really does help us a lot, especially when you're fighting multiple agents. So it's up to you what kind of weapon you want to be using. Optimist from us is my secondary. The modifications I use on my SMG are crit damage, crit chance. It's really up to you, plus 20 rounds, depending on how much crit chance you have on the setup. Don't go less than 54, 56%. Otherwise, you're going to have issues when trying to actually crit. It is RNG based, but that's just a side note. Then the Orbit Pistol for more crit damage and crit chance. You guys know the drill by now. So the 4-piece Umbra Initiative. Let's take a look. So we get crit chance, reload speed, from the shadows into the light. I've explained this many times. So we go in cover for a bit. Then when we come out of cover, we get all that RPM and crit damage. It's very strong. And then the nice thing is when you go back into cover, you can heal yourself at a decent rate. So it's a good all-round build. Yes, you do have to go into cover every now and again, but as long as you're sprinting around, you don't lose the stacks very often. You can normally get out of a fight or fight a whole team before your stacks get past like the 3/4 mark. So I wouldn't worry about it at all. It's very fun and very, very powerful to use. I will be dropping a very interesting PvP build again tomorrow. So hopefully you guys do enjoy that one. So make sure that notification bell is on. So the chest piece is great. Why? Because of the from the shadows, increases the stacks from the shadows from 50 to 100, which is really good. Stack gain from 10 to 20. It's very important to use the chest piece in PvP. I wouldn't recommend using the backpack. So the 4-piece, let's go through the other 2 pieces now that you've seen the gear set itself. So the other 2 pieces, one is going to be the Picara's holster, 15% weapon damage. Yes, this is better than the Coyote's mask. Something I need to mention, weapon damage increases your crit damage and your non-crits. So over the course of your entire magazine, you'll end up potentially doing more damage. It's more likely than not because weapon damage is just superior and we want to get as little situational as we can get, or at the least situational situation. So I think this is the best thing to do or to use. And then we have got the 1-piece Sokolov, which gives us SMG damage, once again boosting damage to non-crits and to crits. It's really good and it lowers the situational element. So I think this is great. The Sokolov is the best. Like I said, you might think to yourself, well, why don't you run a Grupo? But no, crit damage, you only crit 60% and it's per bullet of the time. And that's RNG. Sometimes you won't be critting, but even if you don't, even if you do, we've got that increased baseline weapon damage, very important. So that's pretty much the setup. Now the mask, it's all just going to be crit chance and crit damage. It depends how much crit chance or crit damage you have, what's your shade tech watch level. So I've got crit damage and a crit damage modification on the mask. Chest piece, I've got crit damage and crit damage modification. Holster, we've got crit damage on this one. I need to optimize it. The bag, crit damage, crit chance with adrenaline rush. And I think this talent is important because it gives us bonus armor. It counts as a separate entity to our agent, mitigates enemy players' talents. It's very strong, very good. It helps me a lot. You can use different talents on this backpack if you would like, but I do recommend this. Companion is good on console if you're playing in a team or with your skills out. You can use that as well for more damage, but you don't need more damage. Trust me, more survivability is a bit more beneficial, and I think this does the job. Adrenaline rush is really good. I got a crit damage modification on the backpack as well. Then the gloves, we've got crit damage. Knee pads, we've also got crit damage. Decoy, health, duration. You can use a shield, defender drone, whatever you want. The defender drone is really strong right now, so I'd recommend deflect, duration, and health for some of the modifications. Just use whichever ones are best. If you go into your modifications, like I always say, you go to mod the platform, select one, and if you select a different one, you'll see it'll have a green value. That means that you're actually doing something positive to the skill, because it can be quite confusing. So looking at these stats, we have got 56 crit chance, 156 crit damage. This goes up immensely, and the RPM, don't forget, that's the damage is deceiving here. We hit a lot harder. You guys can pause the video if you want to see anything else. We have got a bit of healing, or kind of like regen in a sense, or health per second gain when we are back in cover. But this build blew me away, and I think it's a lot of fun. Like I said before, it's up to you what guns you want to use. Try Lady Death if you feel like this weapon talent isn't giving you enough damage, but it's very satisfying and it is really good. So also, please guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.